So it's funny because I use this app, and this app is just it does so many good things, right? It's got an artificial intelligence. So when a producer or a writer or whatever, a person that contributes to Substack, when they do a live, it actually gets analyzed by artificial intelligence, and that artificial intelligence like edits the whole video. I mean, it's incredible stuff. And it will take little snippets, parts where artificial intelligence basically it's using its kind of like intellect to go through the things that the people that use the platform say, and then it takes little snippets out. Although I'm a little concerned that sometimes it also chops out the kind of like dead air bits, and that makes some of the things that it does a little bit choppy. So that's not great, but they can improve on it. They can keep improving on it because basically it's intelligence, right? We're talking about something that is intelligent. And that intelligence governs the platform of Substack. And Substack then takes those things and chops up the substance of what you're saying, and it uploads clips and puts subtitles on it and puts it to YouTube. It does all of these amazing things. But it's just intelligence. It's not wisdom. It's just intelligence. Do you guys know the difference between aesthetics? Okay, you know what? Let me start it this way. Aesthetics is the way that something looks, right? You should know this. For something to have an aesthetic quality, if we talk about the aesthetics, it's how something appears to the person who is witnessing the thing that they're beholding. And it can be ugly or it can be beautiful. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Right. But what's the difference between the aesthetic of love and the aesthetic of hate? You can tell the difference, can't you? You can tell the difference between something that is beautiful and something that is ugly. Does that tell you anything about the actual quality of the thing that you're beholding? No. No. If you want to know something about the quality, the qualia, the actual usefulness of a thing, you can't judge that book by its cover. You can't. You need to see the way that it plays out in the real world. Can you use this? Is it useful? So the opposite of aesthetics is usefulness. Okay? How does something actually operate in the world? Is it good? Is it bad? As opposed to, is it pleasing to the eye, or is it something that turns you off? Is it good? Does it function in a way that is good? Or is it something that functions in a way that creates something bad? Right? You understand this, right? Is something good or is something bad is different than is something beautiful or is something ugly. But they're like synergistically attached, right? They're the two things that really matter, because when you see something, you can say, oh, that's ugly, or you can say, oh my God, that's beautiful. But both things can also be perverted. Something really ugly can be something really beautiful if you put it into action. You can chisel away at a piece of granite and make a beautiful sculpture. Something that other people will then see and they will say, how did that come from that other thing that it was before? Equally, you can take something that is beautiful to behold, something that is just, I mean, you can't not look at it. Okay, it's so beautiful, it's appealing. But you can pervert that, you can twist it, you can make it so ugly. You can make it perverted, you can make it porn, you can make it something that is beautiful to begin with, because making love with someone is the act of creating life. But having sex with someone on camera so someone else can get their jollies while watching it. And by the way, I'm not judging anyone, I'm not condemning anything. All I'm saying is I'm seeing things differently now. I'm seeing both the aesthetic and the usefulness of a thing. And I think that a lot of people are looking around the world right now and they're seeing What is the aesthetic, and what is the thing that it does for me? What is the thing that it does for us? What is the fruit of? I watched a fantastic conversation this morning. Only had on YouTube. It only has 237 views, I think, when I first witnessed it. It's Calvin Robinson, who is a Catholic priest from the UK, and he's been on my radar for a little while, and he's a very smart, articulate guy. And he was debating this woman about Israel and the place of Israel. What is Israel? What do we mean when we say Israel? Is Israel the geographical place? Like, is it the spot on the map? Or is Israel, in the Christian sense, the church, the Vatican? Is it actually the people of Christ? Is the church the what? Dude, is the church the wife of Christ? The bride of Christ that we engage with on the planet Earth, and it makes the world a more beautiful place. It's been ugly sometimes. Sometimes aesthetically, it's been very unappealing, especially in recent days with all of the controversies, with all their taking all these priests who had done things that were not very priestly. But does that pervert the church itself? It changes the aesthetics. Does it change the usefulness of the church? I don't think so. I think that the use of the church is still there. It's all in the eye of the beholder. It's all in the way that we use it, because there's a difference between intelligence and wisdom in the same way that there's a difference between aesthetic and usefulness. I'm gonna post a video below. I think you should really listen to it, because everything is coming down to Israel. Does not everybody see it? How do you predict something like that? How do you say that's what's going to happen? And when you see it happening, when you witness it happening, does it not give you pause and say that maybe some things made more sense than other things? Maybe some things about the past are not the same as every other thing about the past. Does that tell you the truth of something? No. You have to struggle with it. You have to struggle with the aesthetic of it, and you have to struggle with the usefulness of it, with the fruit of the tree. What is the fruit of the tree? I wrote a couple Substacks over the last couple days about the idea of the church, which I would argue is the progeny of Peter, who was called to preach to the Jews, to the circumcised. This word circumcision keeps coming up too. To preach to the circumcised. That was Peter's job. Peter's job was to appeal to all of the other Jewish people and to convert them to Christianity. And some accepted that and some did not. And some of the people that accepted it, we would call these Messianic Jews. These are Christians in the realest possible sense. They are both Christians of the Father and the Son, the material and the metaphysical. We know that God, Jesus, was born of Mary. So she's Jewish. Jesus was half Jewish. But what's the other half? Why does it matter so much, the Immaculate Conception? Why does it matter? Because it is the marriage of the material and the metaphysical. God came into his creation, married a woman, a Jewish woman, okay? And they had a son. I'm trying not to make this like gross. I'm trying to keep it aesthetically pleasing, but I am what I am. And he impregnated Mary without touching her, without violating her. That's really, really important. He did not violate Mary. Mary welcomed Jesus. And she bore a son, and he was half Jewish. And so Messianic Jews are both God on the material side and they're God on the metaphysical side. You need to marriage those two ideas, the aesthetic and the usefulness, the fruit of the tree. Does your tree bear good fruit? Does it look like the fruit of the tree or the aesthetic of Israel right now and what they're doing in Gaza? Is that bearing something beautiful? Are we seeing something beautiful there? Are you kidding me? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter whether you've been there to witness it yourself or you're just taking it like you're gleaning something about it from the way that people talk about it on television. It's as ugly as sin. What is happening there is as ugly as sin. No matter how you slice it, you can't cut that fruit and make it beautiful. You can't. You need to have the marriage of the metaphysical and the material. You need to have the aesthetic, what is pleasing to the eye, what is tasteful. And you need to have the usefulness. Is it useful to try to genocide a group of captive people? Like, I don't like this. I haven't liked it from the start. I haven't liked it from the start. I haven't liked it since October 7th. When on October 7th, I saw so many people on my social media portals come out and start just cursing the Jews did it. The Jews did it. Which Jews? Does it matter? Are they all the same? Why are you trying to tribalize it? Why are you trying to give collective guilt? That's a blood libel. And when people talk about blood libel, that's a real thing. If you blame everybody in a tribe because of the aesthetics of it, the way that it looks, the way that it looks to you, oh, this is what I see. I'm judging. You are not being like Christ. You are not doing what Jesus told us to do. You are not thinking in terms that Jesus told us to think. If you condemn based on a geographical location or a genealogy, it doesn't matter. You're stuck in the material world. Jesus Christ is the marriage of both the material and the metaphysical. He was God because he told us that we would do this to ourselves. We keep doing this to ourselves. Why? Because we will not think holistically about it. Can you think holistically about it? Is Israel the church or is Israel the place on the map? Can it be both? Yes. It is both. And we, as Paul's church, because I'm not Jewish, I don't think, but I am spiritually Jewish. Christians are, by definition, spiritually Jewish because the spirit that came to the earth through the Jewish people revealed himself through Jesus Christ and became the Catholic Church, the Christian church, broke off into the East and the West. By the way, the thing that we're not allowed to do is we just reconcile with Russia. Well, why is Russia so bad? Why do we hate Putin so much? Maybe it's because that's the eastern side of the church that needs to be reconciled with the West. Right? There needs to be a reintegration of the West with the East. Why don't they want us to be able to talk to people that share the same values as us? What is that? If it's all about markets and this idea of meritocracy, then what is the actual, what is the aesthetic? What is the usefulness when we talk about Russia and the West? Why, when we talk about the East and the West, they have the same aesthetic. They have the same usefulness. They both believe in Jesus. Why can't we have that? Why do we have to hate them and also hate people that don't share our values? But I don't understand the hate, the aesthetic of all of it. It's just, none of it makes any sense until you realize that you have to look at the fruit of the tree. Is it bearing good fruit? The church is at the heart of all of this, unfortunately. And, the really hard part, I think, for people is to accept that maybe this is the way it had to be. So for us to have free will, for us to see the world as it is, for us to open our eyes and see it as it actually is. Maybe this is just the way it had to be. But if something is not aesthetically pleasing and also useful to humanity as a whole, is it of God? Everything's of God. That's the really hard part to struggle with. Everything is of God. He set it up to be like this so we could either choose to be in marriage with him, we could accept the immaculate conception, we could accept the marriage, the joining of the material and the metaphysical. We could accept his truth. We could accept each other. We could realize we're all brothers and sisters, and it has nothing to do with your genes, and it has nothing to do with the place in the earth that you come from. It's bigger than that. It is the aesthetic and the usefulness of it. Listen, if it didn't happen in this way, then we would not be able to see it for what it is. So I pray that everybody comes back to the Lord our God and people stop thinking it's just a fairy tale or Sky Daddy or whatever the really aesthetically retarded people say. Okay. If you look at something and you say, oh, it's not pleasing to my eye, does that mean it's not useful? Hmm? We have to accept things with this idea that it's not all about looks and it's not even about functionality. It's about something bigger than that. It's about the marriage of the metaphysical and the material, and whether or not you believe every human being on this earth is made in the image of God, Imago Dei. Do they have a soul? And is it that soul that I'm supposed to respect in every other person that I see in the world, regardless of faith, regardless of race, regardless of all, take it all out, take the aesthetics all out. Can we reform ourselves? Can the church be remarried? Can the Jewish people come back to Jesus? Can the Gentiles? Can the Hebrews? Can everybody come back and realize that, okay, we did something really bad, but we can make it really good? It's a choice. It's a choice. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Yeah. As we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. It's a choice. Okay. I absolutely love you guys. God bless you all. Jesus walks.